Hey everybody, it's Daniel here from Infovest. Hope you're all doing well. So I got another topic for you today. It's about Canada. It's getting worse off in that country, as we already have seen, and I've posted quite some information and did a video talking about how a lot of investors in Canada are leaving and how consumers there are feeling the pain of higher mortgage rates, cost of living, people are upset, etc., etc. Things are not being done well in terms of housing affordability, taxes going up. I just did a video, if you just go on my channel, 2 videos back, titled Canada Investors Leaving. So check that out. But we got another topic to discuss, as you see behind here. Canadian business insolvencies surged 87% higher in Q1. Makes sense for why investors are leaving. It makes sense why people also might be leaving and businesses to shut down. Because what's the point if the consumers in Canada are unable to spend and they have to prioritize their mortgage payments over certain services or spending at certain businesses, and taxes are going up, earning less money? What's the point of running businesses in Canada? At least as of right now. So this article comes out from Better Dwelling. I'm going to go through it here with you. Again, titled Canadian Business Insolvency Surged 87% Higher in Q1. So Canada's increasingly hostile business environment starting to show up in the data, according to OSB. Who's OSB? That's the Office of the Superintendent of Bankruptcy. Okay? They're talking about this, they themselves. Data shows a sharp increase for business insolvencies in Q1 of 2024. A weak consumer combined with soaring cost of doing business has led to a surge in businesses seeking protection from creditors. Experts warn the issue is likely much worse than what you're seeing right now. I don't disagree, since the vast majority of businesses that shutter down don't make any insolvency filing. They simply close their business. All right. So there you got some businesses out there just simply closing because what's the point? Hell with it. Get out of this business completely, especially in Canada. Canadian business insolvencies have climbed sharply over the past few months. The OSB received 2,003 business insolvency filings in Q1 2024. That's an increase of 31.7% from the previous quarter. All right. First quarter filings were a whopping 87.2% higher than the same quarter of last year. So when you look at the insolvencies in Canada, in 2018 there was 930 in 2018. In 2019 there was 972. In 2020 during COVID there was 883, okay? Take that into consideration here. That during COVID, when the government told you and forced everyone to close their business and stay at home and don't go to work, you had 883 insolvencies. And even after that, 603 in 2021. And then that started to increase back to 807, close to the COVID levels in 2020. Then 2023, it surpassed COVID levels of 1,007. That's more than not only COVID, but more than 2018 and 2019 insolvencies. And then, lo and behold, 2024, higher than all those years I mentioned. 2018, 2019, 2020, COVID, 2021, 2022, 2023. Now 2024 comes out to be 2,003 insolvencies, which is much, much higher than those previous years that I mentioned. All right. Staggering increase, right? What gives? I thought, with COVID and the stimulus money and the support from the government, these businesses would be fine. But no, what happened was after COVID, you got inflation increasing. The central banks around the world had to hike rates aggressively, basically causing the consumers to now spend less, right? And I said this many times, right? They're going to pinch the consumers. It's going to trickle into the businesses, and you're going to see those layoffs. You're going to see those businesses shut down, those layoffs to happen. And actually, it may not help inflation in that sense when you have businesses shutting down, because what you're doing is you're providing less services, less options for people. Thus, if there's demand for something and there's less options, you'll see prices move up higher, keeping inflation sticky, right? Moving on, in the article it says Canada has seen a big uptick in the number of filings over the past year. OSB received 5,743 filings over the 12-month period ending in Q1 2024, an increase of 57% compared to the prior year. Over the period, the largest chunk of insolvencies was in accommodation and food services. So about 15.5% total of accommodation and food services, right? You're not going to go out, spend on expensive food at the restaurants, probably choose to make at home, eat canned beans, or whatever you have to do to make your mortgage payment. Construction also has seen 13.6% in terms of insolvencies of the whole chunk. Retail trade 11.1% as well. So adding to this, all three reflect discretionary spending, less renovations hitting construction, which has been struggling amid elevated interest rates like I mentioned, right? So it goes on to then say, despite the boom in population theoretically providing more demand, insolvencies experts warn to deck is slanted against businesses. We are seeing signs of significant rise in distress among Canadian businesses. Many still shouldering the burden of the pandemic, on top of high input labor costs, declining consumer spending, and higher debt carrying costs. So as you can see, that even though there was a stimulus money, with the declining in consumer spending, with also wages where they are right now, the cost of labor is higher, businesses cannot afford to continue going and running, put on taxes, especially there, and so on. Not many people spending. You're definitely going to feel the pain. Thus, the massive insolvencies that you're seeing in Canada. And guess what? This is just the beginning. We haven't hit the official recession yet, right? We will get that once we are in it and past it. Then you'll get, all the economists come out. Oh, okay, actually the recession started in so and so quarter Q1 of 2024 or Q3 Q4 2023, what have you. But it's happening. You're seeing it in many countries. You're also seeing, finally, United States, their growth data start to deteriorate as well. They were the ones that were stronger among all the Western countries out there, but you're starting to see also the U.S. start to show weakness. But definitely, like I said in previous videos as well, I feel Canada is one of the countries that will go through a very severe recession compared to the U.S., and I think it's going to feel quite the pain because of how over-levered people are, right? We're talking about more than, I think the number is, don't fully quote me on this, but I think the number is for the household debt to GDP, something like 103%. It's highest there on the list compared to many countries out there. So when you got households that have massive debt, housing debt, mortgages, car loans, and so on, and you just keep taxing the hell out of them, you keep taking money away from them, it's getting worse and worse in terms of affordability and food and so on. It does not look bright for Canada, regardless of, even if you've got a population boom, right? That every realtor came out and said, oh, population boom's coming, Canada's going to be, really better off than the United States and so on, and this is going to save the economy. Well, hold on a second. If this population that's coming in, these immigrants that are coming in, don't have much money, rely on the jobs in Canada and people are not hiring and rely on those smaller businesses that are going bankrupt, then where's the money coming from, right? In fact, they could go on employment insurance, and the government ends up paying them rather than getting them to contribute to the economy, especially if they're not skilled workers, especially it's going to take them years to become a skilled worker and get their education, so on. And again, right, how long can you last with the higher rent prices, with the food prices, the affordability? How long can they last? Maybe some of them may decide to also leave, right? So very interesting to see how this is all playing out. I've been saying this for years and years and years and years and years. Check out my channel, check out the videos I talked about previously as well. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below, subscribe, hit the like button, bell icon to be notified on the next video, and I'll see you guys around. Cheers, bye.